barring rain, are going to be batting again tonight, which means this game is moving along at an incredible pace. And now, we're going to have a completely different change of pace as I welcome two guests into the box. I'm very excited to have alongside me Sarah Fain, you'll have heard from many times before, Director of the MCC Foundation, and we'll be hearing a little bit more from her shortly. But first of all, Richard Verity, co-founder of the Alsama Project. Richard, tell us, what is the Alsama Project?
So the Alsama Project was set up in January 2020. It creates secondary schools in refugee camps, Syrian refugee camps primarily in Lebanon. And as importantly as that, it also has introduced cricket into Lebanon and increasingly into Syria as well. So for the first time ever, I think, we have cricketers playing in refugee camps around Lebanon.
Was that your plan when you started it? Because it's an educational project, but obviously cricket is a really large part of it for you.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I don't think we realised at the time how important or how useful cricket could be as an add-on to the education. The education is done very seriously. We create literacy in just 6 months, so far faster than most of us ever became literate. But these are very interesting students or children. You're going to hear a bit from them shortly. But what cricket is a almost mystical game that is inclusive, that brings together girls and boys in really perfect equality. And we have found that these children have simply loved the game and have owned it without any preconceptions. Yeah, this is not an Asian game, this is not a colonial game, this is a game that has no context, but very quickly becomes their game.
Yes, because I suppose we sort of think that a lot of the issues that we have in this country are that the game feels slightly rarefied, maybe a little posh, if you like, where, of course, they have none of those things coming into this at all, do they? Where predominantly are your students coming from? What's the sort of background of the people that are coming in?
So the background, they are refugees. They come from Syria. They live in really desperate conditions in the Shatila refugee camp or in the Burj al-Barajni refugee camp, or out in the Bekaa Valley where there are in fact tent encampments. The Shatila and Burj al-Barajni are kind of 21st century slums. These are, as you listen to them, you'll recognise these children as typical teenagers loving cricket, but they also have a life experience which exceeds mine in my 50s. They've seen war, they've seen ISIS, they've seen bombing, and yet they have a resilience and a joy that is that they manage to radiate and makes working with them the most fulfilling thing I've ever done.
Now, you say the most fulfilling thing you've ever done, so what were you doing before and what sort of sparked this?
Yeah, so as a management consultant, I mean, for 25 years I was helping different companies improve their share price. All good, but at a certain moment, both my wife and I had a midlife crisis. Important to synchronise those moments, to have it at the same time. And what we realised was that our lives had not really delivered a great deal of social impact beyond the immediate family. And so we had an opportunity to volunteer out in Lebanon to help Syrian refugees. And that was a pivotal moment. I mean, once we had started, we saw a group of children who were illiterate, who were desperate, but who also had a work ethic.
What sort of age are we talking about?
So the way we deal with 12, 13, 14-year-olds and then take them into a kind of a secondary school. So, I mean,
so still they would have had no primary education coming from Syria at that point, the civil war?
Yeah, so they've missed out on their education. I mean, it's a frightening situation. There's a whole generation of Syrian refugees who are illiterate, likely to be desperate, possibly will learn the wrong things, not the right things. And we realised that this was an opportunity for us. And so we started creating, firstly, just empowerment classes and cricket sessions. But very quickly what was required was schools, proper schools, that teach Arabic, English, maths, and then on top of that, why not music, hiking, and then at the weekends, cricket. It became the kind of the very critical, a very critical pillar for the education, not least because it allowed the boys and the girls to interact, and the girls to take leadership positions.
And I suppose, I mean, there's quite a lot. Andy Zaltzman will tell you, you could do, he's not here, unfortunately, but he claims that you could do the entire national curriculum through cricket. You can do geography, you can do foreign languages, you can do maths, obviously. I mean, there are also, so not being too flippant here, but there are ways in which cricket can also add to core subjects as well, aren't there?
For sure, all of those things, but it really does affect a child in a very visceral way as well as an intellectual way. I mean, these are children that have never succeeded or failed in a controlled situation. Cricket offers success like you've never felt before, and of course, failure that you then have to deal with, but in a controlled fashion. So it's a game that we forget, having grown up with it ourselves, just how much it teaches and at how many different levels it teaches.
Well, you very generously gave me the opportunity to speak to two of your students, which I did via Zoom from Shatila in the Lebanon, and we can hear from them now.
Hello, my name is Mara. I'm 18, from Syria, from Deir Lissa.
My name is Edouard. I'm also 18, and I'm also from the northeast of Syria, and I live in Lebanon.
So, well, first of all, I'm going to ask you both, how did you come to find yourself in the Lebanon?
I came from war. So what happened? ISIS controlled my village and whole Syria, and they took everything. They took the houses, the schools, literally everything. So they were treating people in a very bad way. For example, if a person makes a mistake, they cut their hand, cut their head, and they do so many bad things. It was very hard because war came, and literally war took my childhood, everything that I'm supposed to live like my childhood, playing, going to school, doing the things that I'm supposed to as a child. Buildings were destroyed, blood were everywhere. I literally lost everything. So my family and I wanted to survive. So we decided to leave our village, which is Deir ez-Zor, and go to Lebanon. At this time, my father was here in Lebanon, and he sent people to take us from Deir ez-Zor to Irana. And we were in our way to Damascus, and the person who was responsible for us, he tried to sell us to ISIS.
This is an extraordinary story, and it's one presumably mirrored by you as well, yes?
We have some common things, but unfortunately, when I came, I started working because I was forced to help my father. I was prevented from education for about 7 years. At the beginning, I started working here, and sometimes I get in issues. I get violence from people because of racism. Every negative we've shared, but I met cricket before even Al-Sab'a, before even starting with them. At the beginning, it was weird trying to make my hands straight and my head straight, hitting something, hitting some weird shot, drive, cut shot, pull shot, these different names. But I really love it because as a teenagers, we love something challenging. One of the challenges was keeping your hand straight and something like that. After that, because we're passionate, because we felt cricket is really important for everyone and everyone who has the right to play, we started inviting everyone.
Leaving everything behind, leaving the family issues, leaving the community issues, leaving the poverty issues, and, entering the playground. I feel like I'm the iron butterfly moving between the flowers. I feel happiness. When I hit the ball, I feel how unbeatable I am, how strong I am, and how valuable I am. Because outside the playground, we are as girls, we are not valued enough. We are seen as like something in the corner. But inside the playground, we are seen as unstoppable girls, strong girls, and the girls who can make difference. And only people in cricket believe in our potential. When I started playing cricket, no one told me you are a girl, you can do it. Everyone was supporting and saying, you can do it. And now I'm at a place as a cricket coach. And I am a left-handed spinner, which I can get the strongest batter in our team out easily because I use my brain, not my muscles.
And you're also, I believe, you're the captain, aren't you? So you're responsible for giving orders and ensuring that people actually take them. And that must be quite challenging coming from a society where it'd be quite unusual, I would have thought, for a woman to be in that sort of a position.
Being a captain for the female team is easier than being a captain in a mixed team. For example, boys outside a Salman cricket community, I tell them, like giving them instructions or orders, they might say, well, you are a girl, we are stronger than you are nothing, go home. But it is different in Al Sama cricket community. Boys are respectful, they are valuing girls, because at Al Sama, we are 50% girls and 50% boys, which we are playing cricket together, being in body together, helping each other, because we believe in equality. So for me as a captain, if I give UI instructions, he will not be mad. But for example, before this process progressed, for example, I told Hamoudi, he's one of our team members, Hamoudi, go and stand in the middle position. He was like, once you are telling me to go, it's not allowed. Why you are telling me I'm stronger than you? I'm the good batter, you are nothing. But then when I explained for him, I used the diplomacy with Hamoudi. Okay, Hamoudi, you are the strongest batter. I believe in you. You are a good batter. We all saying that you are a good batter, but you need to listen for me in order to win the match.
Is there any ambition, do you think, when you finish your studies, perhaps, to become internationals? I mean, I don't know the Syrian cricket team. I'm not sure if one exists yet, but there's a very amazing story of the Afghanistan men's team that they gathered together in refugee camps in Peshawar, and before very long they'd got a team together, they made their way through the leagues, and they now end up playing in World Cups. Is there an ambition for both of you perhaps to start a Syrian men's team and a Syrian women's team?
Absolutely. In 2027, we will have we will be registered and we will join the Olympic. And absolutely, we have some strong team. They are planning it right now because we have some great cricketers. That's why I'm inviting everyone to come and test us, because we want to get ready for this ICC tournament as well.
Well, they were absolutely amazing to talk to. I spoke to them for about 15, 20 minutes, because of the tea break, we couldn't fit it all in here, but they're such an inspiration, extraordinary young people. Sarah, the MCC Foundation is supporting Al Sama. What is it about Al Sama that got you interested?
First of all, can I say, I know that all the kids in Lebanon are listening into this. So hello, Maram, hello, Luai, and hello to you all. We're so proud of you. What got me into this was that I was working in Afghanistan with the Cricket Project, and I was introduced to Richard, who was just starting his project in Lebanon. And I instantly recognized a passionate maverick. And Richard invited me to Lebanon. And once I met those kids and I saw what he was doing, and I saw what the cricket was doing for them, I really wanted to support. And as soon as I got to work for the MCC Foundation, which is all about transforming lives through cricket, I thought that would be the most incredible project to support. So it's become one of our flag projects.
Well, I've seen quite a few videos of you guys out there. Can you sort of describe for me, Richard, how the cricket is played? Because a really obvious question that comes to mind is, in a sort of tented community or a refugee camp or whatever, where's the space? How do you do this?
Yeah, so we have one great piece of good fortune, which is that in Lebanon, also in Syria, in fact all around the Middle East, the one thing that is extremely common is AstroTurf football pitches. Small size, large size, and these lend themselves perfectly to playing cricket. So we have those, and these lend themselves perfectly to playing cricket. So we have those facilities. We then bring in the equipment. The real issues, of course, is to try and make sure that the coaching is of a high enough quality that we actually start playing proper cricket quickly. And that's very much the intention. This is not entertainment. This is not
frivolous.
This is actually meant to be an attempt to actually create cricket of the highest quality. And as soon as you tell the students that, their eyes widen and their enthusiasm knows no bounds.
Sarah, you've worked a lot with young Afghans, and we know the story of Afghan cricket. I mean, it's a pretty sad story now for Afghan women cricket, but nonetheless, there was that period when the men were coming through, and you've had a lot of Afghan refugees come through various programs, and you've seen how the Afghan men's team can go. Is it realistic? I mean, it'd be a wonderful story if suddenly there was a Syrian men's team and a Syrian women's team. The kids there sound absolutely besotted with the notion. Can it happen?
I think that what I saw right from the beginning with the Afghan men's team was their incredible desire, their absolute determination to succeed on the international stage. And that's really what got them there. And I think what's hard for us to understand is if you live in circumstances like they do in Lebanon, in the Syrian refugee camps there, cricket is really a way out. It's your whole life. You will play cricket for your life. So if you have that mentality in a team, I see nothing stopping you growing, developing, and the game growing. Already Rich has got 1,000 kids in his program. There were 100 when I started. In the recent bombardment, the kids fled to Syria and they started coaching their friends out there with cricket. So I can see it spreading. I think in countries like those where there's so little hope and there's not much joy, I think something like cricket it's eminently possible for them to become a national team.
Well, they really want to be challenged, don't they? I mean, what we didn't have time to put in there was, I seem to remember asking, what's your vision? What do you want next? And they said, well, we want teams to come over and play us because we'll beat them. They were very, very confident of this. And so they laid down this challenge.
Yes.
And I promised to go and commentate. So we've got to find some more opposition, haven't we?
Yes. So if you're a cricket team out there, not wanting to go to Corfu, but wanting to go to a different place, cricket with an edge, come and tour. We would love to play you, and we'll play good cricket against you. If you're a cricket coach, we have internships, and we absolutely need, cricket coaches to come and teach the finer points of the game, particularly in the hardball sessions. So there's plenty of ways to engage.
The players are about to make their way out. It's, as ever, it's tea, it's short. And before we do go to the action, can you let us know, Richard and Sarah, how you can support the Al Sama project?
Yeah. So as we speak, we have, last time we looked, 2,700 children on a waiting list for our schools. So we have an almost infinite demand, both for education and also for cricket. And of course, if people come and support, then we'll be able to meet that demand. So go onto the website, www.alsamaproject.com, and you can donate there, you can engage there, you can come and visit us. We love having visitors. Dan, we extend the invitation to you,
Thank you.
at the start. You'll be welcomed in a way that you'll remember.
Well, I was welcomed on that Zoom call. I'm sure I would be very much welcomed. Sarah, MCC Foundation supporting this. You see this project going on for many years yet, I presume.
I do. Honestly, it's a wonderful project to support. I'd encourage anybody to go out and see it. And when you meet those children and you see the joy that cricket brings,